Hi, welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History. I'm Claire Ridgway. I'm the author of several history books, including On This Day in Tudor History, which is actually the inspiration for these videos on Tudor events, births, deaths, marriages, battles, rebellions, you name it. You'll have to bear with me. I've got such a sore throat and bunged up nose and bunged up head and that. So if I don't make any sense or my voice tails off, you'll know why. I decided not to try the Tudor cure for a sore throat, which is to go and find a bird's nest, boil it down and make a paste, and then hold that in the mouth for as long as possible. I've decided that perhaps I'm best just sucking some throat sweets instead. But tell me if you do try the bird's nest concoction. How you get on with it and whether it works. Okay, today I'm taking you back to 1555, which is in the reign of Queen Mary I. Today's video is based on an article I wrote for the Tudor Society a few years ago about William Hunter, who was burned at the stake. Yes, we're back to Tudor executions. Who was burned at the stake on this day, 26th or 27th of March, the sources differ, 1555. William was just 19 years of age when he was burned, and he was burned in Brentwood in Essex for heresy. Now, his story is told in John Foxe's Book of Martyrs, and I'm going to give you a bit of a brief overview based on John Foxe's account. John Foxe, of course, was a Protestant writing about the Protestant persecutions. So, as someone has noted on one of my other videos, he's not exactly an unbiased source. No, he's not. But his book is a very good source on the life stories of these people, and possibly the only source for some of these people, some of these less important people. Now, William Hunter was an apprentice to silk weaver Thomas Taylor in London when the Catholic Queen Mary I came to the throne. After refusing to attend Mass and refusing communion at Easter 1554, Hunter was threatened with being hauled before Edmund Bonner, who was the Bishop of London. And it was at this point that his master, Thomas Taylor, dismissed him, lest that he should come in danger because of him if he continued in his house. So, his master didn't want to get into trouble because of Hunter's religious views, so decided it was better to dismiss him and get him out of his household. At that point, Hunter returned to his home in Brentwood, Essex, but then got into trouble there when Father Atwell of Brentwood Chapel found William in the chapel reading the Bible to himself. An argument between the priest and Hunter then ensued, and the priest reported William to Justice Anthony Brown, who called Hunter's father before him and ordered him to go and find his son and to bring him to Brown. Hunter voluntarily came home, and his punishment for reading the Bible to himself in church and for the argument that then ensued with the priest was to be put in the stocks by the local constable before being taken to Brown and being interrogated. After an argument over communion and Hunter's refusal to accept the Catholic doctrine of transubstantiation, the Catholic doctrine of transubstantiation being about the miracle of the Eucharist, that it really did transform into, the bread and wine transformed into the body and blood of Christ, whereas Hunter, his religious views were that it was solely in remembrance of Christ's sacrifice rather than actually being Christ's body and blood. So Hunter stuck to his views and argued about that, and as a result of that, he was sent on to the Bishop of London, I mean, this is a young man. He was only 19 when he was executed. So, I mean, this young man is really standing up for his faith. He refused to recant his beliefs. He was put in the stocks again for 2 days and 2 nights, but still refused to recant what was seen as his heretical beliefs. He was then sent to prison, and the bishop commanded the keeper to lay irons upon him, as many as he could bear. And John Foxe writes that Hunter was kept in prison for 9 months, and that he was called before the Bishop of London 5 times during that time, and he still refused to recant his beliefs. He was condemned with 5 others in the consistory of St Paul's on the 9th of February 1555. After he was condemned for heresy, he was sent to Newgate prison and then back to Brentwood, his hometown. His parents, rather than acting like his master, before him, rather than dismissing him and sort of distancing themselves from him, like his master Taylor in London had done, they were actually proud of their son's faith. Foxe records, "In the meantime, William's father and mother came to him and desired heartily of God that he might continue to the end in that good way which he had begun. And his mother said to him that she was glad that ever she was so happy to bear such a child, which could find in his heart to lose his life for Christ's name's sake. Then William said to his mother, For my little pain which I shall suffer, which is but a short braid, Christ hath promised me, mother, said he, a crown of joy. May you not be glad of that, mother? With that his mother kneeled down on her knees, saying, I pray God strengthen thee, my son, to the end. Yea, I think thee as well bestowed as any child that ever I bare." And Foxe records that just before his burning at the stake, Hunter said, "Son of God, shine upon me." And immediately the sun in the element shone out of a dark cloud so full in his face that he was constrained to look another way, whereat the people mused, because it was so dark a little time afore. Then William took up a faggot of broom and embraced it in his arms. He went to his death courageously, assuring his brother that he was not afraid of death. And Foxe writes, "Then lift he up his hands to heaven, and said, Lord, 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 receive my spirit. And casting down his head again into the smothering smoke, he yielded up his life for the truth, sealing it with his blood to the praise of God." So a very courageous death for such a young man who died for his beliefs. As I said before, John Foxe is biased, and perhaps someone said that, he must have exaggerated, these people sort of, so courageously going to their deaths that they still managed while they were burning to say such wonderful things. Well, yes, it probably is exaggerated, but it's still worth sharing because it is, accounts from the time. An elm tree was later planted on the spot of William's burning, and it became known as the Martyrs' Elm. A plaque at the spot where William Hunter was burned reads, "William Hunter, Martyr, committed to the flames, March the 26th, 1555. So that later plaque says the 26th of March, but other sources say the 27th of March. So either one day or the other, he met his end courageously. So that's the end of William Hunter, who was burned at the stake at the age of 19 for heresy, after just being found in church reading the Bible to himself. That is the act that led to all of that, and it just sounds incredible and awful today for us to think that someone went through all of that just for sitting and reading the Bible in church. So William Hunter, 26th or 27th of March 1555 in Brentwood, Essex, met his end courageously. I'll be back tomorrow with another Tudor event if my voice holds out. You can subscribe to this channel by just clicking there and hit the bell to be notified. Talking of bells, obviously you can't hear the bells very clearly in this room. So if you're missing the bells, I did do a video called The Bells, where you can go and get your fix of our church tower bells. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.